Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, I'm going to be showing you how to get Micah's revolver early. In fact, as early as the very first chapter in the game, Chapter 1. And I know what some of you guys are going to be saying right now, Mr. Boss, who is going back and playing Red Dead Redemption 2? Who is in Chapter 1? Well, surprisingly, I get a lot of messages on my Facebook page saying people are going back doing another playthrough, whether they have a new console and they're playing it through backwards compatibility, or whether the pandemic has just given them an opportunity to stay at home a little bit more, and thus they are going back and revisiting Red Dead Redemption 2. This is your opportunity to get one of the best weapons at the very beginning of the game that you'll have throughout the entire story. So, like I said, Micah's revolver is traditionally reserved for the epilogue. In fact, Arthur doesn't even have the ability to normally get it. Obviously, as you guys know, the end of Red Dead Redemption, and Arthur is sadly killed by Micah, so he never gets the chance to get his revenge or get his hands on the actual revolver itself. So if you guys want to know all about returning to Micah's hideout at the very end of the game, I'll leave a link to a video I did a year or so ago in the description that outlines really all the secrets and everything that's going on there, the fact that you can see his body. But the biggest prize that you can actually come back and get as John Marston is Micah's revolver, which is one of the best sidearms that you can have in the game. Aside from it being a really cool revolver, which it says vengeance is hereby mine on the barrel. It has this sort of like cool, almost Dia de Muertos skull design in red on the handle itself. So overall, it's a really cool gun that also happens to be one of the best in the game. Again, normally reserved for John Marston after the story is completed. But like I mentioned, there's a way in which you can get this as Arthur is early on as Chapter 1, which means you'll be able to keep it through the entire story having one of the best sidearms in the game. So in order to do this, you need to actually have not played the mission Old Friends. And the mission Old Friends is essentially where Dutch and the rest of the gang, including Arthur and Micah, try and stop Colm O'Driscoll from robbing a train.
Seems easiest to take the same path down as Bill and Micah. Like you said, revenge is a luxury we can't afford.
Yeah, just wasn't sure you agreed with me.
Arthur, have you completely lost faith in me? Our needs right now are supplies, equipment, and a way out of here. Everything else, including Colm, can wait.
Okay.
There's enough of those bastards down there to deal with as it is. Now come on.
Maybe I should take the lead on this. They're going to be gunning for you.
They ain't got me yet.
No, but the way our luck's been running...
Hush. Let's just get down there first. Follow me. Let's head for that building in front. Okay, let's get in cover.
That feller smacked you up something stupid, huh? Yeah, I showed that bastard.
So,
Left him in the dirt and
what are we doing, Dutch? I can take this if you want.
Just make the call. You want to take the lead? Go. We have to move on.
Okay.
Right now.
I'll go first.
All right, so here's where things get a little bit tricky, and it took me a couple of tries in order to nail this. And what you essentially want to do is wait until you decide between Dutch to either to go after the O'Driscolls yourself or send the gang after them. And then once you make that decision, everyone will sort of split up. And Micah will sort of post up on the wall of this shed right here. That's normally where he will post up. So in order to do this, what you're basically going to have to do is disarm an O'Driscoll and then bring them to Micah. So we'll talk about which one I think is the best, but long story short, you basically just need to go up to an O'Driscoll and essentially with your fist out, just punch him, knock his rifle out, and then punch him again if he has another sidearm. Essentially, you want to get him down to him holding a knife only. Now, once you've done that, this guy will basically follow you. So what you want to do is bring him to Micah. So this can be a little bit tricky because he might get stuck punching you over and over again. But if you bring this guy over to Micah, what he'll actually do is get in a fist fight with Micah, and he'll do the exact same thing. He'll actually disarm Micah. And what this will allow you to do is then pick up his revolver once it's on the ground. Now, this is where things will get a little bit tricky because you obviously do not want him to kill Micah, otherwise the mission is going to fail. Even though this is probably one of the most satisfying failed screens ever, saying Micah has died. So that's essentially how it works. Now, things can get a little bit tricky because since this is a mission, the NPCs that you're fighting, the O'Driscolls, they have specific spots they're designed to go to. So I found that there's one NPC that works really well because the tricky part about this is if you just try and go to any NPC, there's a chance they get shot. There's a chance that you put yourself in danger and end up getting killed. Because remember, if like Bill Williamson sees this guy following you, he's going to shoot him. He's not just going to let him follow you. So in my opinion, the easiest guy to go for is this dude who's wearing like the green handkerchief, bandana, whatever you want to call it. And he is on the right side near this shed. So in this shed, there's actually two people that comes out. And so what I recommend doing is killing the guy on the left because he's obviously going to start shooting at you. And then this guy is going to run down the stairs and then run off towards that shed. I would take care of him as well. It's just going to leave this guy towards this far shack on the right. And what you need to do is disarm him. Now, I messed this up a couple of times, so it's a little bit tricky. And it might take you guys the same. Like, one time I actually cleared out the right dudes, but I ended up grappling him on the ground instead of disarming him. That clearly didn't work. So it might take a couple of tries, but when you get him back to Micah, but the reason this guy works so well is because he's isolated from the rest of the gang members, Bill and Micah and Dutch. And so no one will shoot at him basically until you get him to Micah on the backside of where the gang is held up. And if you really just do this correctly and you run him into you, basically what will happen is, again, he'll punch Micah, which will allow you to drop the revolver. Now, you don't have a lot of time to admire the new revolver that you just got because if you do so, there's a chance that the mission could actually fail. So I know that it'll be exciting and you're just like, oh my gosh, it worked. I got the revolver. That is fantastic. I am so excited about that. But don't admire it just yet. Otherwise, the mission will end up failing. So this is something you're going to want to do early on in the game if you're replaying the story or if you are going back and doing another playthrough altogether. Now, I know it technically doesn't make sense and that this is supposed to be a reward as John Marston for returning up to Mount Hagen at the end of the story. But if you can get access to it, why not? You've just gotten yourself one of the best weapons in the game early on. And what this will do is it'll allow you to save money at the gunsmith, not have to purchase a pistol that would be equivalent to that. So overall, it's kind of a win-win. And you get to take something from Micah, which is kind of cool. So honestly, this is what I would recommend doing on my playthrough and your playthrough as well. And it's how you can get Micah's revolver early on as Chapter 1. But anyways, that's all the information that I've got for you guys in this video today. I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below, or better yet, reach out to me on my Facebook page what you think about this little trick and more. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.